who are struggling with acute poverty. That means they don't have a decent survival mechanism to survive actually. So that is one problem. So therefore, at this point of time, through the Sustainable Development Goals agenda, they say by 2030, no one should be left behind. No one should be left behind. This is one problem. The second problem is, how do we protect our planet? Our planet is in danger now. Our planet is in danger. With the week today, India Today Group got a state of the state report released totally on the Dagestani Senator as a panelist. तो मुझसे चर्चा होता है कि हम राज्य केमती बहुत जगह रे बहुत आगू चल रही सारा देश दुनिया केमती ओडिशा किसी शिखिबो मु कहली ओडिशा भल भी किसी करुच्ची बहुत जिनस आहरी भी भल करने बाकी रही एडिटर मत पचारे कहला कौन बाकी रही कहतु कहला जी आप देखिले बाहर वी लुक्ड एट आउटसाइड effect of the climate change. Heat wave is really taking us to a new level actually. 44 degree, 45 degree, 46 degree, even 47 degree temperature in April, May is something which we have never experienced. This is the effect of climate change. But the pity is, Odisha, we are the first state in the country which is contributing, per capita contribution of Odisha is highest in the country in CO2 emission. That means we are a cause of the climate change also. We are also cause of that. So many people raise their eyebrows. Jagadananda, is it so? Yes. Take it. It's a very valid information. So, if we are a cause for climate change, how do we save the planet actually? It's not Odisha alone. There are many states, there are many countries we are responsible actually. So the planet is in danger. That is definite. The third problem which they have identified is violence and conflicts. And we are now seeing it. We are seeing it very clearly how the world is getting ready for another major conflicting situation, and we are also seeing how other regions of the country, how other regions of the world, they are also preparing for joining this battle of conflict and war. The fourth area which they have identified is an area which is the democracy is also in danger. The democracy is not it's not safe right now. And the political parties which are now projecting themselves as protector of democracy are no more protecting democracy, they are destroying democracy. So that is a problem. How do we upgrade the United Nations? That was the issue also they identified. United Nations जो अवस्था रही, इटा आगु को how do you upgrade हवा दरकार? And finally, they have said, वर्तमान partnership. We have to boost partnership between developed countries and developing countries, between least developing countries and the developing countries, and most industrialized developed countries and the poorer countries, between Africa, Asia, between Latin America and Europe, and so on and so forth. Boost partnership. Partnership between corporate sector, civil society, government. We did a new framework actually. So this is the problems and agenda identified by UN. Now when I look at Baba, Ananda Murtiji, and his philosophy, and the comprehensive framework he had given during his lifetime, I feel we are going nearer to Ananda Murtiji right now. He has given a complete philosophy. He has given a complete framework. He has given a very comprehensive solution to all the problems which are now being identified after 75 years of UN's stay. Very clear. And Professor Mohanty said a few, he didn't say many. Dadaji also, because of the paucity of time, said some, didn't say some. But I can tell you this August gathering, because there are Margis, there are also non-Margis. There are intellectual brothers and sisters. There are families who have come out of curiosity also to know. But let me tell you, there is a complete, comprehensive, what you call framework, which is already available to deal with all these problems. Very clear and very comprehensive. So what do I picked up from Ananda Murtiji and his philosophy? I will tell you how I picked up before I close that. But his depth, with a clear strategy, with a blueprint of vision of the future humanity, you can see it actually. You know, it was so prophetic, so prophetic. Somebody could think these problems and has a clear solution to each of these problems. You know, I'm really feeling nostalgic and mesmerized that I lost a lot of my time not in advancing the philosophy and the framework which was pronounced, several decades ago. It is so futuristic. What did I pick up? I picked up from Anand Marg this whole message of sadhana, seva and sacrifice. Look at the sacrifice of the dadas and didis, the sannyasis and the sannyasins. Lifetime dedication, complete sacrifice for the society, to look for the society. This service, I have seen the Anand Marg school during my childhood, and now also I see the Anand Marg school. I wish there are only Anand Marg schools all around the country, all around the world. That should have been the case. And when we look at the second service, I have seen during super cyclone in 99, when the whole state was in limbo, sannyasis and margis there in the street, burning carcass, bodies, and which dilapidated bodies, which nobody would like to go nearer actually, with devotion and passion. I was traveling, I remember in 99 I was through a super cyclone. I had a gentleman who came here, and the gentleman was Joint Secretary in the Prime Minister's office. He became the Additional Secretary in the Prime Minister's office. He called him one day and he said, Jagadananda ji, can I come to Odisha? The moment telephone was restored. I said, who is online? And so and so. So then I got little allotted, Prime Minister's office. I said, Ashok ji, no. You have to call me Ashok. I am junior to you by age. So you have liberty to call me Ashok. And I call you Jagda Bhai. I said, all right, Ashok. So what do you expect me to do? He said, I want to go back to Odisha, spend 7 days with you. Then I meet the government. And this will be a discreet trip. Ashok came. So we are traveling in Arisama, in Balikuda, everywhere. Wherever we are going, somewhat we are bumping into the Amrut team, Anand Marg Universal Relief team, Dadas, because you can't, they cannot go incognito because of the dress code which they have. And then Margi brothers, right? And the kind of service, kind of passion, it is seen to believe. And those of you who know it, you know it. Those of you who do not know, you should see how passionately, how dedicatedly, how committedly they work on the ground. And teaching sadhana. I was also very impressed with Ananda Murtiji and his philosophy of caring the plants and the animals. Taking care of the plants and animals, because the universe is not our property. It belongs to all segments. There are plants, there are animals, there are birds, there are human beings. No one is superior, no one is inferior. So this theory, I think this is the unusual love which he had for plant and trees was amazing actually. He could read the language of the birds and the language of the animals actually. And I was told recently that trees also talk to themselves. You know, plants also talk to themselves inside. ଆପଣମାନେ ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରିବେ, ଗୋଟେ ବାଡ଼ ଲାଗିଥିବ ଦେଖିବେ ଗୋଟେ ଗଛକୁ ଯଦି ମାରିଦେବେ, ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଦେଖିବେ ଅନ୍ୟ ଗଛ ବି ଟିକେ ଝାଉଁଳିବା ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେବ. Very carefully you have to mark. Because the message goes immediately that our community is under attack. Somebody has come to attack. The message goes inside. After so many years, this message has come to us through scientific research. Look at Ananda Murtiji. Look at him. 70, 80 years ago, he could see, even from childhood actually, he could read the language of the animals and birds. And of course, the trees and plants, which he loved. That is it. I like that. I also like the way he has expressed the inadequacies and adequacy of the capitalism and communism and and the related issues which are related to the society. I like his theory, the proud theory, where he is very clear about economic democracy, moral leadership which is so necessary in the world today. We don't need many political parties to thrive. We need moral leaders to thrive. And decentralization of wealth, promotion of indigenous culture, I like that. Because he believed in live and let live. The interdependence between various segments of the society. That is very important. Which is man, nature, birds and animals. Which he describes as the whole idea of a cosmic family. That is the Vasudeva Kutumbakam. He had very clearly articulated that. I also like the way even he is thinking now and the way he has thought several decades ago about a world government. The world government concept of Ananda Murtiji is amazing actually. The concept is amazing, the framework is very clear, and now the framework has also been tried in small groupings. The European Union grouping is a small grouping which is based on the theory and the framework which was enunciated by Ananda Murtiji. Right? You retain your independence, there is a lower structure, but you also come together as a collective, and then you govern yourself. That conceptual framework, of course there are many fallacies in the European Union model, but this is a model which we can see to relate actually. The Neo Magna Carta, UN has many things, but Ananda Murtiji has brought out Neo Magna Carta, the guaranteed minimum requirement of life, which Dada was saying. The basic needs, unless the basic needs are met, you can't go to the next order actually. First basic needs. Then the second is security. If today is okay, next tomorrow, belongingness. Then self-respect, self-esteem. There are higher order needs of human beings. But that is very important. Security of plants, animals and the planet. He had very clearly elaborated that. fundamental rights, right to religion, the cultural legacy, right to education, right to indigenous linguistic expression. Very clearly he has said it under partyless democracy. I also learned, today we are talking of a comprehensive world order in which Samaj, Sarkar and Bazaar exist. Samaj, Sarkar and Bazaar. Ananda Murtiji had articulated very clearly what kind of state, what kind of Sarkar we would like to see, and what kind of Samaj also we want to see, and we would like to have, and what kind of Bazaar. You know, he was talking of a non-exploitative Bazaar. So therefore, he was advocating where the production and distribution of commodities are regulated by cooperatives, not by sets. Today, what has happened? Inequality around the world has grown actually. 10, 12 families, they control 40% of our resources. It's a total inequality. And in an unequal society, when somebody is struggling for a decent survival, and there are 10, 20% who occupy almost 40, 50% of the major resources, this is something. The society is in danger. Society is not in good hands. So, therefore, he had laid a lot of emphasis on cooperative system. He had laid a lot of emphasis on micro-planning. And Professor Kumar Babu is here, our former Vice Chancellor and a great economist. He is one with us actually. He is a revolutionary economist. The major chunk of economists, they say, if GDP grows, there is a trickle-down theory, it works. You know, when wealth grows, it will trickle down to everyone. It doesn't work. We have seen it, it has not worked. So Ananda Murtiji has articulated, it's trickle up, not trickle down. If through micro-planning, the lower strata of the society develops, then it trickles up to the up, not down, not the general thought. He was advocating for integrated farming. Today, in Odisha, you will be all happy to know that the government has agreed, we have persuaded government time and again that we need integrated farming. We don't need monocrop. We don't need this, that. We need a good integrated farming system. Today that has become a reality. A lot of us are involved in integrated farming. Government has come also. And that model is now accepted actually. When I see that model, I think of Ananda Murtiji. What a prophetic. He could think of so many decades ago. This is something unbelievable. So friends, I think I must end here. But one thing I would like to say, during his lifetime, he was misunderstood than understood. It is a pity. It's a pity for the society. It's a pity for the successive governments. It's a pity for many. I had the privilege, very proud privilege, and rare opportunity to meet Ananda Murtiji during my school days. When I was in the school, I landed in Ranchi in the 70s and had the rare privilege and opportunity to meet Ananda Murtiji through personal contact, one-to-one. He's sitting and I am sitting. I was a non-believer. I was an atheist almost. I was an atheist. It was left to myself. No, I have never shared it with anyone. He sees me, first sight, he touches me. You know, before he touched me, he said, "You are an atheist. You don't believe in A, B, C." I said, "Yes." "Would you like to go a little further?" And when he touched my vocal cord actually, for a moment. He said, you have to believe that there is someone who is making you talk. There is someone who is making you to smell. There is someone who is making you to hear and listen. He just touched my vocal cord. And I was speechless for 10 minutes. I didn't know what was happening to me. He said, I am not that superpower. But you have to believe it. I was numb for a moment. And when my call came back, when I was able to speak, and I went through several interesting, experience during that time. And I was so mesmerized. I was so moved. I was so deeply touched by the essence and by the power he had. But he was not a tantric actually. The inner power which he had was something unbelievable. And those of the others, they have interacted, Professor Mohanty, who have interacted, they know that power. Those of you who have interacted, you know that power. Those of you who do not know, this message is for you. It is amazing. Today, he's not here physically, but he's with us in spirit, and I'm sure he had given one call, and we have to remind that call today, and with that let me end. He said, all moralists of the world must unite actually. Today, moralists of the world are fragmented. So, that clarion call which he had given, I think it's a day to think about it, seriously. The moralists, the people who believes in values, people who believe that society must change, they must come together. And when we come together, we'll create that new society which he had dreamt, and many of us are dreaming, and many others who are present here and outside the hall are thinking that one day, before in their lifetime, they should see a new world order. And that was Ananda Murtiji. I pray my reverence to Ananda Murtiji today. I can feel that today he's here with us. And I'm so delighted that the Margi brothers here invited me. And then I was very reluctant to join, but Sir Margi insisted that I should come. And I'm so happy that I'm here and part of you, part of the celebration. I'm really emotionally charged, and I think together we can make that difference. Thank you.